What do it do, YouTube? It is your favorite YouTube channel, the Retro Bros Podcast. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, with another episode. And hey, we got a special guest here today. We got a man that hangs out in the comment section all the time. We got our man, Tro. Tro, what's up, buddy?
What is up? I'm very happy to be here.
Hey, man, very happy to have you here. And of course, Frank has to be here too because he's Frank. But what's up, Frank?
What's up, guys? What's up, Tro?
What up?
Welcome to the Retro Bros family.
Yeah, man.
Very
Hey.
happy.
We got to start off this show with some unfortunate news. Uh, this past week, we the wrestling world lost Jay Briscoe in a tragic car accident while picking his daughters up from cheerleading. And I don't think there was any foul play suspected. I think the worst offense in this situation was that Jay was not wearing a seatbelt, which I mean, wear your seatbelt, people. It's there for your protection.
Yeah.
But beyond that, this is just a sad situation all around.
Yes. Um. Oh, Chris, you were done.
Yeah, I was throwing it to you guys.
All right. Yeah. So Jay Briscoe, as somebody who was a Ring of Honor fan at one point, Jay Briscoe was there from the very beginning. The Briscoe brothers is definitely the greatest tag team in that company's history, and I still cannot believe this happened, man. He was way too young. I was fortunate enough to see him perform live twice. Final Battle 13, where he was in the main event with, I believe, Michael Elgin and Adam Cole. And then a couple months later at War of the Worlds 2014, where he teamed with Mark and faced the Good Brothers, or at that time they were known as Bullet Club.
Mhm.
Ken Anderson and not Ken Anderson, whatever their names are, Anderson and the other guy, um,
Gallows.
Gallows. Right. Yeah, I was lucky enough to see him perform when he was at main event status, and he was great, man. Him and his brother both. They were, I believe, Jay was on the Era of Honor Begins, the very first show. Mark was too young, I think, to perform at the time. I could be wrong. Could be the other way around. But yeah, they were both there from day one, and were a big part of this company, the company Ring of Honor. And it's just it's a sad situation, man. Rest in peace, Jay Briscoe.
Facts.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch his work like that, but I know who he was, and I knew he had some banger matches with uh, FTR. Him and his brother had matches with FTR that were like fantastic. But Frank, I got to be honest with you, man. You kind of surprised me a little bit when you said you were a fan of ROH because ROH
Yeah.
is not like WWE. ROH is more wrestling
Yeah.
based and sports entertainment based. And you've
It
always
is sport.
said,
First of all, wrestling and sports entertainment are the same thing, but go ahead.
okay, well, you've always said that you're more of a entertainment fan, storyline fan. And ROH, they had storylines, but their focus was more wrestling driven.
Most definitely, it was, and that's why it was really a fad for me. I was into them at one point, and it kind of died down for me. But yeah, they did some in those early years. They did some really interesting storylines. The CM Punk thing with Daphne, I forgot what they were calling Daphne in those early years of Ring of Honor, but she got kidnapped in one angle early on in the company's history. There were some angles, but yeah, it was just a fad for me following Ring of Honor. It was just by like the beginning of the 2010s, I needed something different because WWE had been boring me for so damn long, and I
Yeah.
just found Ring of Honor just felt fresh, and I fell in love with it for a little while.
Let me guess, the Nexus did it for you, huh?
No, this was long. I got bored with WWE long before the Nexus angle.
Oh, okay.
In fact, it was around this time, the show that we're reviewing, it was like 2006 where I really started getting bored with WWE. Even though they did have the, Edge, who was a big part of this show, when he became the rated R superstar, that was great. And
Yeah.
the feud with Cena and all that was great. But
Yeah,
yeah, at this point, what were you gonna say?
I did enjoy Edge going to Papa Cena's house and slapping the dog shit out of him.
That was a great segment. Yes.
Uh, hey, Tro, what do you were you ever a big fan of Jay Briscoe or ROH?
I've had heard of Jay Briscoe before.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen any of his matches though. ROH was just never something I was never really able to get that into.
Right.
I
You're like
check it
me.
out sometimes, but I've definitely heard of him. It's definitely a tragedy on all fronts.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. He was way too.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna go eat some lunch. So Frank is gonna take over this show for a little bit. I'll be back. Don't worry, I'll always be back. Not going nowhere. Just gonna go eat some food. Jay, Tro, the show is yours for a little bit, boy.
Yeah, make sure you take the picture down real quick though, so we can. Oh, did he? He didn't take the picture down. Oh, okay, he did. Oh, okay. All right, so today we're going to review New Year's Revolution 2006, and the first pay-per-view of 2006, and we start the show off. Intercontinental title, Ric Flair challenging. I'm not challenging. Edge challenging against Ric Flair, and Flair ends up winning this match by disqualification. Edge hit him with the briefcase as Flair had Lita in the figure four leg lock. Crowd was going crazy during that, and yeah, so Edge gets disqualified. What are your thoughts on this match, Tro?
I thought this was a fine, serviceable match with a decent ending. I think what happens later on makes what happened here make a little bit more sense. And
Right.
this was about the Flair had a DUI, so DWI, so Edge was mocking him, and
Yeah,
at some
go ahead.
point, I think Coach, because it's Coach and Joey Styles to start
Yes.
off the show for a few matches. I think Coach said, "Oh yeah, the reason why Flair keeps on getting divorced and get DWIs is because he keeps on beating his wife." I'm like, no,
Oh gosh, damn. Wait, who said that? Styles or
yeah,
Coach?
Coach, because he was doing the heel stick.
Right. Right. Damn. Um, so I'll say for this, I think Lita was great because like she definitely had heat. The fans definitely had heat with her. And that was one of the loudest reactions of this match when she got involved and Flair put her in the figure four. Crowd went nuts for that. That was probably the highlight of the match. I would agree with you. It wasn't like great, but it was okay. It was serviceable.
Yeah.
It was a good way to start the show.
Flair got good blood on it. Got good blood on the two hits with the briefcase.
Yes. You mentioned two hits, as I was going to say. After the DQ, Edge would once again hit Ric Flair with the briefcase. And as you said, he was bloodied open, busted open, bloody and stuff. And of course, it got in the hair, as it always does, because he's got that white hair. So it looks great with the blood. Kurt Angle gets interviewed here. This was a great heel interview from Kurt Angle.
Oh boy, what an interview here!
Yeah. So he says he hopes that the United States loses the war in Iraq. He says France is the greatest country, to which what's his name?
Daivari.
Daivari agrees with him.
Well, when he says he hopes that America loses the war, Davari's like, I do too. It fits in because
I think that's where Daivari agreed. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's all. I do too. Like he says in general, like, yeah, I do. I hope so too. My family lives there.
And then he says, if he can make one person tap out now he just went heel on the whole country. Now he's gonna go heel on everybody. He says, if I could make one person tap out, it would be Jesus.
You're forgetting the most important part, though, the thing that would get him canceled today. I really don't care for the black people.
Yeah, he did say that, right? Oh my goodness. Yeah, that one kind of came and went, and I didn't write it down. I was trying to figure out if he actually said that, because I felt like that would be something that like Peacock would edit out. I would have thought,
You would
but
think.
no, he did say that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
after that, he says no matter what he says, the fans love him because they know that he's the best, and tonight they know he's gonna walk out with the belt. So crazy segment. What did you think about this interview?
I thought this interview was great.
Yeah.
I liked how he ended it with a classic, yeah. It wasn't like peak perk angle, yeah, but it was like a yeah.
Yeah, this was pre him going to Impact Wrestling, although that was a few months away, and this was long before the infamous meme of him yelling "yeah" into the camera with the angle mouthpiece and stuff that he did in Impact. That was funny. And then they show
He seems confident. I'm sure he's gonna do great tonight in the chamber.
well, we'll see. Then when they go back to the ring, Flair's just getting carried out by the refs. And then we go to almost dropped my phone. Then we go to the women's title match, Mickie James challenging against Trish Stratus. This infamous storyline that I thought was really good, where Mickie James was a stalker of Trish Stratus. And they had, of course, that infamous, what was it, I think it was Christmas Day, because I guess Christmas fell on a Monday in 2005, and they had that kiss moment above where they were standing above the mistletoe and all that. So that whole angle led to this match right here, Trish Stratus taking on Mickie James, and I thought this was a pretty good match. What did you think?
So this was their first time facing off each other. The first of their feud, which would really escalate later on. This is also probably their most forgettable one, personally.
Probably, yeah. I agree.
I found it a little too botchy at points. Like I feel like they have chemistry, but this just was not the match for it.
I thought it was good, but if you would say forgettable, if you compare it to like the WrestleMania match, I would agree that the WrestleMania match was better, but I thought this match was still okay.
There was at one point where Mickie tried to go for the Stratisfaction off the ropes, and she stops. So Trish has to pick her up. And you're thinking, oh, maybe she'll do the back body drop. No, she just helps her do the move on her. I'm like, no. Call an audible and do the do a different spot there. So it's obvious what you're trying to do.
So then Maria interviews herself, talking about the upcoming Braun Penny's Gauntlet match, where and then she gets interrupted by Gregory Helms, who says tonight Jerry Lawler's not going to be able to be at your going to be able to call your match and be a perv and all that, because I'm going to send him to the hospital tonight. And then as Helms walks out on that interview, Shelton Benjamin walks by with his Mama Benjamin, who was absolutely phenomenal.
Yep.
And Shelton is wondering why his mom came with him, as he doesn't have a match on this card. And that's when Mama Benjamin says, well, that's the exact reason why. She says, you don't, or something to the effect that, like, you need to, like, start eating better food so you can get on these cards. It's like, let me go to catering, you go into your locker room, and I'll go to catering and find you some food. And so that happens. Then we see Edge. Edge in All Access, where he doesn't want to speak to the fans, so Lita has to do it. her go in by herself. What do you think about these couple segments here?
Well, first, it's always nice to see Gregory Helms. Gregory Helms, who didn't want to be the Hurricane anymore because I guess he was tired of making money.
With one of the most generic,
Oh.
the most generic.
It's horrible.
Yeah, the theme and the entrance video might be worse than the theme.
It's just a stunt effects.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But it was nice to see Mama Benjamin.
Yes, she
killed it.
Yes, as always.
Yeah, Edge also said, "I have bigger things on my mind." Huh? You know,
Right.
he's thinking about what to get for dinner after with Lita. I mean, he doesn't want to talk to the fans, obviously. Why would he?
Good.
He's hungry.
He's probably going to be on the phone with Pizza Hut by the time he gets back to his locker room.
He wants to get the hell out of Albany, New York, and I don't blame him.
Well, we're both normal New Yorkers here.
We're Long Island.
We don't live in Albany. Next, Jerry Lawler taking on Gregory Helms. I really didn't care for this match. Lawler had a match the prior year at New Year's Revolution against Muhammad Hassan that had a pretty decent build-up. I feel like this match really didn't get any build-up. It was essentially just Gregory Helms was angry at Jerry Lawler because when Gregory Helms was the Hurricane, Jerry Lawler made fun of him on commentary. That's essentially the story to this match. Lawler got the win. I really wasn't feeling it. What do you think about this match?
You know, there's nothing that helps a young talent more than the old veteran who's a commentator beating you. It doesn't help Gregory Helms anymore with Jerry Lawler kicking his ass. There was a good part of this match, though, with Gregory Helms after the when he's on the ringside and he puts on the headset and he starts talking trash. Yeah. And he's like, Joey who? And then like 3 minutes later, like Styles is saying, yeah, Joey who?
Yeah. Gregory Helms thought he was The Rock for a second, going on commentary. That was cool. But yeah, otherwise this match wasn't really anything special.
He does do better stuff a couple of weeks later at the Royal Rumble, so there's that.
Right.
He gets the Cruiserweight title for a year.
Yep. And he won that in a gauntlet match too, I think, didn't he?
Yes, he pinned Funaki. He was like a cruiser. It was something very elaborate, but they're like, if you're a former Cruiserweight champion, you can come on down. And he does. He's like, I count because I was the Hurricane and I was champion at one point.
So he went from hating the Hurricane gimmick to using the Hurricane gimmick to get himself a title shot.
Yeah.
That's funny. Now we have Lita leaving Instant Access, and as she leaves, she walks out the door. She's about to walk out the door, but then Trish walks in the door. They have a little stare down, and then a few seconds later, Mickie James follows right behind Trish, and Mickey's like, yeah, I'm so excited. Our match was so great. We were all sweaty together and stuff like that. And Trish is like, you realize I won, right? Like, you lost. Mickey's like, yeah, but it was so fun. And then we have Mama Benjamin at catering, and she's looking through the food choices. She's like, peanut butter and jelly? Shelton ain't going to win matches with no peanut butter and jelly. And then the lights go down. You hear Viscera's voice. What was it? The world's largest man or something like that. I forgot.
World's largest love machine.
Right, world's largest love machine. So Mama Benjamin is essentially bent over looking like under the table for food. I don't know why you would be looking under the table for more food, but that's what happens here. Viscera comes in, starts, checking her out, and is like, you got junk in your trunk. So then Mama Benjamin gets up. She's like, do you know who I am? I'm Shelton Benjamin's mama. Viscera's like, well, I'm cool with Shelton Benjamin. That's my boy. If you're Shelton's mom, why don't you let me be your daddy tonight? And then Mama Benjamin just gets more angry. She's like, you know what? If you want some action tonight, I'll go find you some action. What do you think about these two segments here?
I like that they at least have Trish and Lita stare down at each other, and
Yeah.
it's like that little we still remember what happened. We're still there's continuity here. It's also kind of cool because later that year, Trish's final match would be against Lita, and Lita's final match would be against Mickie James.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That I didn't even think of that. That's true. All three of them were in the same room for like a hot second there, and they were all each other's final match. At least for Trish, final match until WrestleMania 27. But yeah.
And I find it funny how they portray WWE catering. Like, here's catering, PB and J, a sandwich.
And it's like it's just like one table, one little table with just barely any food on it.
Mama Benjamin has a solid point.
Yeah.
You guys are a multi-billion-dollar company, and you're feeding your guys with sandwiches.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that's not the real catering.
Yeah. But and apparently Viscera has like the power to just dim the lights in whatever room he walks in. He just walks in and he's like, "Oh, the lights just turned off," and my music started playing.
And he must have had a boom box on his shoulder to play his music or something.
We just didn't see it. It's behind him. It's on his back. He just walked around.
Right. So next up, Triple H Big Show. I think this match had a good angle to it, nice little storyline, but it was a decent match, but the crowd really didn't seem to care too terribly much for it. Triple H really worked on Big Show's cast. Big Show had a cast, bad hand, and that was the story of the match. Triple H worked on the hand for the most part, and at one point, Triple H brought out the sledgehammer, and Big Show took that big ass hand and bang smashed the sledgehammer in half with the bad hand. So that didn't help Big Show. And the match, Triple H ended up getting the win. Like I said, this was a decent match, but nothing too special. What do you think?
I thought it was a fine match. I like the psychology of Big Show had the cast, and the week before they hyped it up as like this is his own sledgehammer now. He can match Triple H's sledgehammer with his own hand. But they didn't realize, no, that actually still probably hurt if he actually did use the cast as a weapon. His hand is still in there, and it's still broken caving. Or maybe it was. His hand was swollen under there. Whatever they put on there made it look legit.
Yes. So like I said, it was a decent match, nothing too special. But next you have Chris Masters getting ready for the chamber. Carlito comes in. He's like, do you realize we're the only two people in this match who have never been champion? So Chris Masters is like, you interrupted my warm-up just to tell me that? And Carlito's like, well, hang on here. I got a plan here. Let's both team up and make sure that neither one of us get eliminated, and we eliminate everybody else. So that means by the end of the night, one of us will be a first-time world champion. Masters is like, you know what? That sounds cool. What do you think about that segment?
I think the state of Chris Masters in 2006, oof, that dude he's definitely not on any juice. That's for sure. Boy.
Well, didn't he
sticking in his arm?
Right. Didn't he once like save somebody's life by like picking up a house or something? I don't know how. Like he was strong enough to like lift up a house or something. I don't remember the whole story, but like he saved somebody's life one day and did something like really like super strong to do it.
I would believe it. I mean, the dude is jacked, especially in 2006.
So next, Shelton Benjamin and Mama Benjamin come out to the ring, and Shelton Benjamin tells Viscera, "You better apologize for what you just said to my mom." And then Mama Benjamin grabs the mic, says, "Man, I don't give a damn if he apologizes. I don't want no apology. Viscera, get on out here and come take this ass whoop." And Viscera comes out. We get Shelton Benjamin versus Viscera, which, thrown together a last minute match. I didn't really care for it, but Shelton Benjamin got the win. What do you think?
I think it was a serviceable match. It did its job, I guess, to try to help Shelton get over a little bit more. It was nice to see Big Vis. Big Mama's always always great, especially when she screamed, "Viscera! Viscera! Get your ass out here."
She was tremendous, man. I should also mention Mama Benjamin helped Shelton win this match. I believe there was something in her pocketbook.
It was a brick.
Right, there was a brick in her pocketbook, and she hit Viscera with the brick.
And then Shelton hit it was like a kick to the face and knocked Viscera down.
Right. So this was a pretty cool segment. Mr. McMahon comes to Shawn Michaels' locker room, and he wishes Shawn Michaels luck. Says, he wishes Shawn Michaels good luck, and he also tells Shawn Michaels, just so you know, nobody's ever won the Elimination Chamber entering at number 1. To which, of course, Shawn Michaels says, well, before me, nobody had won the Royal Rumble entering at number 1. Nobody had wrestled a ladder match before me at WrestleMania. And then he says, before me, nobody stepped foot in the Hell in a Cell. Vince put out a really funny laugh, or like a smirk.
Yeah.
After that, and told Shawn, well, him winning will be the first time hell freezes over. And then he wished them luck one final time before leaving. What do you think about this segment?
This was the beginning stages, the early stages of the McMahon versus Michaels feud. It was late December, I want to say, on Raw when Shawn comes out, because Vince is talking about, oh, I screwed Brett. It's still funny to me. And Shawn's like, grow up. And Vince says, okay, we'll see about me growing up. I'm gonna make your life a living hell now.
Right. Yeah, their WrestleMania match was phenomenal. That whole feud in 2006 was great, and especially once they brought back DX too. I did say one of the things I loved about 2006 was Edge being the Rated R Superstar. Sorry. And the feud with Cena. But also, I think when DX returned, they had me laughing like hell, man.
Yeah.
So that was all funny. The whole things with DX making fun of Vince or making fun of Shane or however they did. There was a scene on a Raw episode, I think in like November, where like Mr. McMahon put a bounty on DX. And Eugene legitimately went to like DX's locker room, knocked on the door. Shawn Michaels entered it or answered it, or actually Triple H answered it. And Eugene straight up just said, hey, look, I'm here for the bounty. And Triple H was like, well, okay. He turns around to Shawn, says, Shawn, it's Eugene. He's here for the bounty. Shawn's like, oh, okay. He gives Triple H a paper towel, the bounty paper towels.
Yeah.
That had me cracking up back then. That was hilarious. So yeah, I love that the whole DX thing. This was before that, but of course that led to that's what the McMahon Shawn Michaels feud led to. Right.
Yeah, little innocent 8-year-old me didn't know what I love cocks meant. So I thought, oh, Vince McMahon, he just what's so funny? He likes chickens, because they kept on. It was always chickens. They're like, oh, what's so funny? He just likes chickens. I like chickens.
Right.
But I didn't know what it meant.
Right. I'm a little older than you, so I got it at that
Yeah.
time. Yeah. So like a couple years later, you just all of a sudden realize, oh, that's what they
Yeah, but
meant.
eventually it clicked. I was like, huh. Oh, that makes sense. That makes more sense.
A joke that you will never see on WWE television today.
No.
So next up, we get the Braun Penny's Gauntlet match.
Oh boy.
Um,
Oh boy.
at one point in the middle of this match, I believe it's Victoria left in the match, and the next entrance come out, and Maya Mula's music hit, and all of a sudden, I believe it was Mae Young. Yeah, Mae Young just
Yeah.
started stripping and dancing. That was funny. So Ashley Mazzaro ends up getting the win for this. She defeated, was it Victoria at the end?
Yeah.
I
Victoria
believe
was the
so.
last
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. So yeah, this was decent for what it was. I'm glad Tori Wilson was in it. I'll say that. She looked amazing. It's crazy too, this match, the fact that it's a gauntlet match. So like if the prior or if anybody before you gets like one piece of clothing on the opponent who wins and has to face you, now you come in and all you got to do is rip one piece of clothing off. So you're at an advantage.
Yeah.
If so yeah, that I've recognized that because like right away, because I think Maria was in with like her shirt was taken off, and then like Victoria came in and Victoria just pulled her pants off and like she won.
That's pretty much how Ashley won because Mae Young was a bit grabby there. She almost undid Victoria's bra legit at some point. Because when I was rewatching it, you see Mae Young like literally grab the bra, but she doesn't know that Victoria has two bras on. So when she's grabbing, you can see the terror in Victoria's face. She's like, "Oh shit, this isn't good."
Oh my gosh. Wow. We hadn't seen something like that happen on pay-per-view in since Armageddon 99 when the cat willingly took her bra off.
I thought overall Victoria looked the best out of everyone in this match. Not Mae
I,
Young. No, I'm sorry, not Mae Young. Not Mae Young.
Victoria definitely looked amazing back then, but you can't go wrong with Tori Wilson in my
You
opinion. She
cannot.
looked amazing. Yeah. So now we got Shelton Benjamin and Instant Access. I believe it was Todd Grisham kind of asked him like, "Are you happy about your win? You excited about your win and everything?" And Shelton Benjamin goes like, "Hell yeah!" And then Mama Benjamin's like, "Watch your mouth." And then she pulls out the weapon, the brick that she used to win the match. Like, yeah, we beat them, and thanks to me, we won. And then she hugs Shelton, and you can see the excitement go away from Shelton because now Shelton realizes, oh no, I didn't really win that match, did I?
I felt bad. I felt bad for Shelton because he really felt like $1,000,000, and he was like, "Oh man, I really didn't win this match."
Yeah, he was good. He was great in that segment.
Yeah,
He sold it perfectly. So now we got main event time, or is it?
of course it is.
Elimination. Yeah, you're right. It is the last match on the card. Elimination Chamber for the WWE title. John Cena ends up retaining after at one point, I think it was down to him, Carlito, and Masters. As of course, Carlito and Masters said, "We're going to take care of everybody else, and then it'll be down to you and me." Well, of course, John Cena was able to prevail against both Masters and Carlito. I thought this match was great. I think it was at this point the best match of the night. Cena wins. The crowd was into it for the most part. This was like the only match so far where the crowd actually was into the match, and I thought it helped make this match really good. What did you think?
So Kurt got was first eliminated with just a regular super kick out of nowhere.
That's what he gets for saying he'd make Jesus
You know,
tap out.
there you go, because it was also Shawn Michaels who did it. It was
Right.
it all came together. He said, "You know what? You're not going to mock Jesus on my mark."
Tremendous storytelling. And of course, Jesus's son, dad, would repay Shawn Michaels a few months later by teaming up with him against the McMahons at Backlash.
And then King got eliminated. At least there was a creative way where I think it was Carlito and Chris Masters just laid both on top of him, so he couldn't get out. It was like, there you go. That's something. It's better than just outright beating him. But I think Chris Masters and Carlito, the overall, were probably the highlights of this match, only because they took it like you're supposed to. Like they actually thought about, like, if we team up, we're probably going to be very dangerous right here. So that's what they did, and it almost paid off if Carlito wasn't so greedy. I mean,
oh yeah, that's right. Carlito did roll up Chris Masters and beat him.
He low blowed him, rolled him up. He laughed. He was like, "Haha, I'm smart."
That's not cool.
CJ's back.
Yep, you're back just in time for the main event.
Oh, good. I'm sorry, I had to go eat lunch. My dad made steak and baked potatoes, so.
Okay. So what do you think about the chamber?
Dude, this chamber match was really, really solid. I actually like this one. There was a lot of exciting moments. Yeah.
All right, so like you said, this is the main event, right?
Facts.
Nothing else.
No, maybe not, because right after that, No Chance in Hell plays. Vince McMahon, Mr. McMahon comes out, says, "Hold on, nobody leave yet, because we got one more match tonight, because this individual will be cashing in his Money in the Bank." Edge comes out. I believe it was Joey Styles who said, "Man, I thought he was going to cash in at WrestleMania." And honestly, back then, because it had taken like this long, I think even I was getting that thought, like, "Oh, he'll probably do it at WrestleMania." Like the very night that the 1 year rule comes to an end.
That would
I
make
really
sense.
think, yeah, and the biggest show of the year.
Yeah.
It's an easy way to, without winning the Royal Rumble, an easy way to get a title shot at WrestleMania. So
Yeah.
So Edge cashes in. He ends up hitting John Cena with 2 spears. Cena, of course, kicked out of the first one. Couldn't kick out of the second one. Edge finally wins the WWE title. I thought this was the match of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good.
The match of the night. Wait, what?
Yeah.
It was 1 minute and 45 seconds, and it was the match of the night.
It was 1 minute and 45 seconds of intenseness. The whole story of, Cena just battled a whole nearly.
Hey. The broad panties match was better.
I can't argue when you got Tori Wilson in it and Victoria
when you get Mae Young in the match, it just goes from a 5 to a 10-star match.
Big facts, bro.
Well, Mae Young definitely brought the comedy. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, for this match,
props to Mae Young, because she was what, 80s?
She was definitely pushing her 80s.
She took that bump off of the. She took that power bump from Bubba out onto the table. Do you remember that, Frank?
Yeah, I think she was 73 when she did that. Or no, 83. 83. Yeah, because I think
a neck brace.
Yeah, Jerry Lawler. JR said, like right after the powerbomb through the table, "She's 83 years old. How can you do that to an 83-year-old woman?" Yeah, Mae Young did some crazy shit.
Yeah, Mae Young was nuts, but she was hilarious. I wonder how her hand is doing.
Well, we saw him at Raw 1000. He did make an appearance there.
That's true.
He's all grown up now.
Yeah, he's over. Yeah, he was what in that Raw thing? He was what, like 20 plus years old?
Well, you have
He
to
was born
understand,
in 99?
hands grow much different than humans.
Right. That's true. He's like he's 30 in hand years or something.
Oh, I got you. So it kind of works like dog years.
So so let me explain why this is my match of night. Yes, it only went a minute, but it was an intense minute where Cena just went like 40 minutes or something in an elimination chamber match. He had to fight the odds. It was 2-on-1 by the end with him against Carlito and Chris Masters. He
Yeah.
had to fight the odds there, and now he's got another match just minutes later against Edge. He takes the spear. He's able to kick out of the spear. Now you're thinking, oh, he's going to survive this. He's going to retain here. And then, of course, no, Edge hits another spear and
Bam.
gets the 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I thought that's why I thought this was a really intense minute of a match. It's not the only short match that I've given high praise to, although we haven't reviewed some of the shows where there are short matches where I give high praise to. So once we get to those, you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, this is my match of the night. I don't really think there are, besides the Chamber, other matches on the show that can get, match of the night type of praise.
Broad
But
panties. Just saying.
yeah, oh, of course. Like I said, you can definitely make the argument for bra and panties, definitely. Tro, what do you think of this Edge cashing in here?
Well, as a young Edge fan that I was, I absolutely loved this to death. From Mr. McMahon coming out and saying, "Nobody leave, nobody get out of this building. I see you down in front. You freaking stay right now."
Sit your ass down.
There's still another match. Edge is coming out, and then I think Vince McMahon, Edge said that he said, "Okay, prove me wrong or prove me right before he went out."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this cash in. It was great. The surprise factor was there. And I loved the commentary where, like, I don't remember. I think it was Coach who said, "Edge has shocked the world."
It was Joey
Yes.
Styles.
That was Joey. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
he
yeah, that was
said it
Joey,
over the
yeah.
top. He was like, "Edge has shocked the world."
Yeah. I Joey Styles was great as a commentator on Raw, wasn't he?
I enjoyed him.
Yeah, he was awesome. Oh my God, can't fight. Sorry, I can't do a good impression. I can't do a good Joey Styles, but I can do a good Dusty Rhodes, baby. You know what I mean? You make a dream daddy. Sorry.
Yeah. So overall, I felt that this show could have been better. It wasn't really that great. I gave it like a 6.5 out of 10. The reason for the 6.5 is simply because of the last two matches, the Chamber and Edge Cena. Other than that, there really isn't anything else special on here. What do you think, Trump?
I'm gonna lean it more to a 7. Some points for nostalgia, but outside of the Chamber match, the bra and panties match, and the ending of the first match, there isn't terribly a lot on this thing to make you go, "Oh wow."
Yeah, that's fair. I would probably give this a 7 also. It was okay, but there was some storylines that probably could have been fleshed out more to make it a better story.
Like Gregory Helms
Oh,
wanting
yeah.
to wrestle Jerry Lawler just because Jerry Lawler made fun of Hurricane on commentary.
Or the Viscera Shelton Benjamin match.
Yeah, that was thrown together last. They could have built that up throughout the upcoming, the prior weeks to the show. That was thrown together last minute. That's why I didn't really enjoy that either.
Yeah, they should have done more with it because this was when he had the mama gimmick, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Mama Benjamin was phenomenal. Both me and Tro were putting her over on.
Yeah, I love Mama Benjamin, man. She was awesome.
She was.
Okay, see, so even CJ's putting Mama Benjamin over. You know she's goaded. Frank, go ahead, tell the people what your pick is next week.
Next week, we're going to be reviewing my all-time favorite Raw episode, the October 9th, 2000 edition of Raw, where the whole show is built around Commissioner McFoley's trying to figure out who ran down Stone Cold Steve Austin at the prior year's Survivor Series. And we find out on this night, because that's the whole story of the night. We find out by the end of the night who did it, and, well, infamously, who he did it for. So, yeah, that'll be next week's show. I can't wait to review that. My favorite Raw of all time.
Yes, sir. And then in 2 weeks, after we do that show, we're going to bring it a little closer to this era. We're going back to 2019 to watch Survivor Series 2019.
Oh boy, that's gonna be fun.
That was a good Survivor Series, right?
Was that the one with the NXT?
Yes.
Okay, so I do remember enjoying that one at least.
Okay. See, Frank, he enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
I forget what the main event was though.
Well, what was that?
What did you say?
I forget what the main event for that show was.
I believe it was Team Raw, Team SmackDown, Team NXT. Because they had Bray Wyatt facing off against Daniel Bryan for the title.
Oh, that's what it was. There was. I knew it was somewhere.
Yeah, all the world championships were on the line that night. I remember it was Brock versus Ray.
Oh yes! Oh God!
Adam Cole versus Pete Dunne, and The Fiend versus versus Daniel Bryan. Those are your three main events. And then for the 3-team Survivor Series match, Team Raw, if I'm not mistaken, had Ricochet, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and who was that fifth guy? Drew McIntyre. And
Yes.
Team SmackDown was Corbin, Gable, Ali, Strowman, and Roman.
Oh,
And
boy.
NXT was Walter, Ciampa, Priest, Keith, and who's Riddle.
That sounds like a dark-sided SmackDown team. Jesus Christ!
Team NXT.
It does, because they all went to SmackDown, but yeah. So yeah,
Team
we got
NXT
that.
makes me yawn.
Wow.
I'll say there are a few matches that you said that have me interested. Brock Ray, Bray Wyatt, and Daniel Bryan, but if it's recent, I don't have high expectations for it, especially when it revolves around black and gold NXT.
Hey, the ring work.
You mean
Just think about all the super kicks that Adam Cole threw.
Oh my God! Super kick city, bitch. No,
I'm sure there's phenomenal rope work on this show.
Joint manipulation.
Hey, I could request a 2016 Survivor Series 2016.
Oof.
If you would have requested either of them, I would say no, thank you. But I thought we were the Retro Bros, but
Hey, 2019 is considered retro now.
2019 is recent. That is very recent. That's not retro. That is not retro.
Oh, really?
No.
Fine, then I'll switch it up. Then I will switch it up for you, Frank. We won't do 2019. Instead, we will do Survivor Series. No, not Survivor Series. Instead, we know what? It's January. It's time for the Rumble. So let's go back to the Royal Rumble 2006.
Ooh, okay. That's interesting.
There you go. Royal Rumble 06 in 2 weeks, folks.
I look forward to that one.
What was that?
I look forward to that one. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that was a good one. That was And that was the Rumble after Eddie passed away,
Yes.
which plays a part in the Rumble match.
Oh, it made it. Yeah, yes, it does.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to thank Tro. Is that how you pronounce your name, Tro?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to thank Tro for joining me and Frank. Thank you guys for watching. I apologize for my absence on this episode. Again, I had to go eat some food, but I came back. Hey, next week we got the Raw from 2000. In 2 weeks we got Survivor Series, or we got Royal Rumble 2006. Sorry, I don't know what I'm saying there. But yo, if you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get notified when we upload new content. We upload new content weekly. Like the video, share this channel with your friends. Tell them about your favorite YouTube channel. You know we're your favorite. Until next time, he's Frank, he's Tro, I'm CJ, and we are signing out. We love you and